my next book, The Underground Library, there's a moment which I read about once again, true story, um, where a woman has to go down into a hole in a bomb site in order to give a dying man chloroform in order to help him with pain as he dies. And that's just a horrific moment, obviously, for her. But it's so, I mean, it almost, she talks about it as if it's like an everyday experience, and this is what happened. This is what it was like. You go out after a bombing raid or during a bombing raid, and this is what you're expected to do. So I think it's through the imagery and through that you can really try to convey this feeling of how dangerous it really was. I think personally, there's nothing worse than bombs coming out of the sky, and you just don't know when it's going to hit you. And, having to live with that, it must be absolutely incredible. It's a true story, once again. So something I came across. And it was quite a big library in the East End of London, and it in an old building, and it was basically crushed by bombs in the first couple of weeks of the Blitz, of the London Blitz. And obviously, what was expected, there was, oh well, there it goes, that's the library gone, just have to rebuild it at the end of the war, because it wouldn't have been a priority, but they couldn't rebuild everywhere, because of the bombs. So, obviously certain buildings had certain priorities, and sadly the library was quite a big building to rebuild. So, the expectation was, well, there you go. But yeah, as I say, that there was that resourcefulness there. There was this, this ability to just have ideas out of, well, people would say out of the box, but it's not really that. It's more than that, to just kind of think beyond and think, no, what can we do here? And at the time, the underground stations had only really just started to come into use, because in the Blitz they weren't even allowed to be open at the beginning for political purposes. And so it was a big moment that they did that, and they had to jump through all sorts of bureaucratic hoops, as you can imagine. Yeah, there was an awful lot of that went on. But yeah, so they moved 4,000 books down into the underground. They set up an underground library within one of the tunnels. It was just barricaded, closed. There was no locked doors or anything else like that. They just decided in the end, they managed to be convinced that because the books were free to lend out, that no one would steal them. And because they were community property, no one would steal them. And although they said that some went missing, but they said that a lot went missing anyway because of the war anyway. A lot of books just went missing. They were either in buildings that had got bombed anyway. So what was a few extra? But I think it became this story, Blitz spirit, very much a story of Blitz spirit, of how normal life went on. Even in the Blitz. But I think what was really important actually was that it actually made books much more, the library services much more available to people actually, because that was when they were free and they were bored, is in the evening sitting in the underground. So it did a lot of people an awful lot of great service.